What's up, everyone? Thank you for joining me for this episode. And today I wanted to talk about Kenya Moore and her husband, Marc Daly, and Eva Marcille. And even though she's not married to this guy, thank God, the father, or biological father, I should say, of her daughter, Kevin McCall. She calls Kevin McCall the donor because she's actually since had her daughter's last name changed to her now husband's last name, whose last name is Sterling, and she said that he is considering adopting her. But I just wanted to talk briefly about these two people because I was watching the latest episode of The Real Housewives of Atlanta's virtual reunion. And of course, a lot was said about Kenya Moore and her husband during the first episode, and a few things were said about her and her husband during this session. And now they also brought up the fact that Eva Marcille's daughter had her last name changed. And so Andy started asking Eva some questions about the donor, as she calls him. And this guy, Kevin McCall, and there's been a lot of headlines about him. He has been in trouble with the law a great deal, and he has even threatened her online. She's come out in this virtual union and said that, he definitely was physically abusive to her. And even the people who weren't feeling her, a lot, felt some compassion. And you have to be very cold-hearted to not have compassion for someone when they say they have been physically abused. And nobody deserves that. I don't care if you don't even like them. She has been through it with this guy, and she just can't even stand to talk about him. So she had to get up for a moment and just relieve herself off of the cameras from in front of the computers, because just talking about this guy, it really does something to her. But Eva is definitely a strong woman. Kenya Moore, she's definitely a strong woman in her own right as well. But the choice that she made in her husband, Marc Daly, who I don't know why she can't just see that this guy is not interested in her. He really doesn't act like he likes her, let alone loves her. Because I get it, there are some people you love, but they just get on your nerves, and there are just times that you just don't like them and you just don't really care to be around them that much. And that's it. I mean, it really does happen. But for them to be so early on in their marriage and in their relationship, and they have a new baby together, it is just very, very strange. So Kenya Moore, being as strong as she is, and Eva Marcille, being as strong as she is, she has been through a lot as well, not only with the guy that she, unfortunately, the child is not unfortunate, but the relationship was, unfortunately, had a child with this guy, Kevin McCall. She said, look, we were not really in a long relationship. I made some decisions. I was just living my life. I was doing me. I was living free. And this is the guy that I was with at the moment, and I wound up getting pregnant, and I didn't really know him that well. And he was very physically, mentally, emotionally, and verbally abusive. And he has proven all of those things to anybody who has an ear to hear and eyes to see. It's horrible. But she made a really weak decision with being with this person. She didn't really know him, and she slipped up and she got pregnant with this guy, and now she has a forever attachment to him. Because let's face it, even if her husband adopts her daughter, I don't know if a court, unless he, murders someone or something, I don't know, and gets locked away for forever life, for many, many years. Courts are just really, really, especially, family courts, they're really iffy with things like that, whether they would take someone's paternal rights away. Because I also do believe that they remember that the child is not always going to be a child. At some point, they're going to become an adult, and they may find out that they were adopted, and then they have the desire to search for and seek out who their biological parents are. And in a situation like this, I don't really know if a judge will do that. I don't know if a judge will take away the parental rights of the biological father and bar that person from ever having any contact or communication with the child. it's very strange, and you would just sometimes think, because of how horrible this person may be, that it should be that way. But unfortunately, a lot of family courts and judges just don't think that way when it comes to stuff like this. And with Kenya Moore, she says that during this time of the quarantine, her husband Marc has been trying to be more communicative, and he has been making an effort, and she even said that they've been getting therapy. And I think Andy may have been serious, but also trying to be a little bit shady too, like he does, and said, well, are you getting virtual therapy? And listen, they've had virtual therapy before the lockdowns and the stay-at-home orders. That's nothing new, so that can be possible. But he is the owner of a restaurant that has been really hit hard because it's in New York City, or Brooklyn maybe. It's hit really, really hard. So he's definitely going through it financially, and I believe he was going through some financial things tax-wise before this happened. So if Kenya is allowing Marc to have another opportunity when he has clearly shown that he does not care for her, she is really making some weak choices. Because yes, they have a child together. Yes, they claim to have gotten married. I'm not going to say that they didn't get married, even though there's some people claiming that the marriage isn't real, the marriage license isn't real. I don't really know. So until that comes out and is 100% proven, I will say that they did get married. But did they know each other very well? Absolutely not. And again, with Eva Marcille, she didn't know this guy well, and the weak choice that she made to get with someone, and she didn't really know this person very well. It didn't turn out well for her for some periods in her life, but thankfully she made the decision to leave. She made the decision to get her daughter away, and she is with a man now that shows and proves that he really loves her, and he loves her daughter as if it is his own, and they've had some of their own children together as well, and that's absolutely beautiful. So even though she's made some weak choices when it comes to Kevin McCall, she's showing that she's making some strong decisions now. So I am happy to see that. But where it involves Kenya Moore, she's a very strong woman. I really am hoping that she will make some strong choices and decide to just let Marc Daly go, co-parent, be parents to your child together, but you don't have to subject yourself to that. But I don't know if she just feels that it's just over for her because of her age and there's just no hope. But hey, I mean, Cynthia Bailey is in her 50s and she's with someone who they say that they, really love each other. And I think they do. I do believe that they moved a little bit too fast, and I'll talk about that in another episode. But love is still possible no matter the age. And I feel that Kenya Moore has made a weak choice by being with this person and somewhat settling to try to make things work with this person. I'm sorry. I just don't feel that this person is someone worth trying to make it work with, because he hasn't proven before all of this that he was even worth it. He may be attractive, you may have had a child with him, but I feel it's a really weak choice to try to make things work with this guy. So I just wanted to talk about those two people and those relationships. What do you guys think? You let me know in the comment section. And again, thanks so much for your support of this channel and the podcast. Thanks for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. And guys, this is the Minister of Beauty, here to share the Bible. That's business, inspiration, beauty, life, and enjoyment. And until the next episode, have an amazingly blessed and beautiful day.